prey, born to race.
I smell his blood.
We want to find out why this hover bike is here.
I don't have no idea why it's there.
My dogs have been farting nonstop, and I'm like kind of in the corner here.
No.
And I've been like, what I like to call elimination scenting them. So I've moved Cleo to the other side of the room, and it seems, anecdotally, the research suggests that it is indeed her staking this up.
We have Venicor and Charlie tonight. Mr. Venicor, my man, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and your experience with Final Fantasy VII.
Awesome. Thank you, Frank.
And moving on, we got Charlie. Welcome to the show, my man. Same question to you. How you doing? What you doing? And what's your experience with Final Fantasy VII?
I'm doing great. Literally just walking in off of a shift, so couldn't be better. My experience with Final Fantasy VII is kind of weird because I was born after it came out. And so it's kind of one of those things where, you know, being really into games and stuff like that, coming into my own as someone who, you know, covers and writes about video games professionally as a critic, you hear a lot of people, especially people who are like 5, 6, 7, 8 years older than me, gush about this game, right? There's this sense of shared nostalgia that people have for Final Fantasy VII that it's kind of in rarefied air with something like Link to the Past or Street Fighter 2, things like that, where there is some kind of collective memory around it that I felt like I came into but never really had or knew what was going on. And so for the longest time, I was just like this total Nintendo fanboy. You know, Final Fantasy VII was the beginning of the break from Nintendo consoles for the Final Fantasy franchise, and that was pretty much it. I remember when Cloud got revealed for Smash, I was like a little pissed off actually. Now I'm super happy he's in. But yeah, I never really interacted with the game until a little bit before Remake. I was like, Remake looks awesome. Let me jump into this game. I love the soundtrack. The character designs are really awesome. You know, I'd never really touched a Final Fantasy game, and so I jumped into the original, and I played about half of it, and then I stopped because I was just like, honestly, like I wasn't loving it a ton. Like I did the beginning. I was in Midgar, loved that stuff, and then that point on, I was like, okay. But then Remake came out, and that was like just had a really profound effect on me for some reason. Loved that game, so much about it. The soundtrack, the way that they recontextualized not just the story but also the script, which I think is like one of the original's big problems. Just a lot of things that kind of made me like maybe not necessarily the original Final Fantasy VII, but certainly the world, the characters, the story, and the events much more, and the general like character, like the feeling of it.
I am a Dead by Daylight streamer on Twitch. I am a boy dad. I am basically a walking LaCroix can. LaCroix sponsor me. And my experience with the my experience. Pejorative. Hey, you know, I do what I can. And Final Fantasy VII was one of those like core memories for me in my gaming life, because it was like that tail end of Super Nintendo, Sega CD, early PlayStation 1 era where gaming was evolving so damn fast. Short Bus is here. See, he's got the LaCroix cans in chat already. See, let's go. And
that's such an interesting mix of experiences.
Listen, I'm no doctor. That's it.
But to do that, first you need weapon, right?
Damn, you went
we
deep
go.
bayou for it.
I love it.
I gotta respect it.
I'm all for
I
it.
love it how he's a weapon man with no weapons.
Don't you patronize me. You can use anything as a weapon.
Yeah. Well, he did have a grenade.
When you ever play Halo 2, that's all I need.
That's all I need.
That's all I need. Give me 2 frag grenades.
Grenades and GoldenEye. It's
Y'all not
time.
playing that Halo 2? Now, boot I played the Halo 2.
You're giving me flashbacks to Deadly Premonition 2, which exists
I
entirely.
haven't played the second one.
Oh, it's great. It's in the bayou. And imagine that man making a game set in the bayou. It's amazing. The butler at the hotel is also the employee of every single position. The butler is also the guy who checks you in, the groundskeeper, the chef, and they never once mention it. The entire time it's played completely straight. Amazing.
I actually went to an airport like that once.
What?
Wow.
The dude at the check-in counter gave me the ticket, and then he ducked under the counter and he came over to security and he ran my bag. And then he ducked under there and he went back in behind and he checked me in for my flight. And then he ran back outside because he had to go do the next person.
Bodyguard, you were followed again?
Look at everyone's awesome.
Are you alright? You're not hurt, are you?
Really good, actually.
But if you must go, why don't you go tomorrow? It's getting late now.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I love this, man.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it is really cool that she's like, can you, like, just go?
Can you
I
just
relate to
bail
this
this
Bring
so
my
much.
daughter with me.
My ex's mom basically said this to me, and I'm like, that's a reference.
Yeah, this is Final Fantasy 7, bro?
Yeah.
Bro.
I would fucking bully you if you told me that story in high school. Like, if you were like, and then I'd like push you in a locker, give you a swirly, and put you in a room with a goat in a home. Like...
You know, it's really cool because I had no real frame of reference from the old school game to make this comment. But after playing Remake and then having like such vivid visuals and then seeing this again, it's like, shit, they were really faithful to the original. They just made it super pretty.
I'm a stout FF7R supporter. Like, I remember when that came out, I sat around being like, wow, these people are the same people who I saw talk about how Cloud is the best, or how Midgar is the best, like, 6 hours of JRPG in the world, are upset that it's been elaborated on to be its own, like, actual game size thing. And, like, I do understand some of, like, the side quests are just, like, go kill these people things. But, like, in general, it feels just so, like, in my opinion, it just feels so loved. There's so much love in 7 Remake for the game and for the entire area of Midgar that, like, I love it.
Like, okay.
Yeah, agreed.
I always kind of rag on filler quests, but I don't think all of them in FF7 Remake are bad. And they're pretty inoffensive. Like, there's even kind of like a funny meta commentary there with the cat side quest where Cloud just gives up and he's like, fuck this shit, bro. This sucks. And I think that was definitely intentional. Like, but I don't think there's anything wrong with having typical fetch quests to bring out and flesh out some of the RPGs. To me, that's like one of the least of the issues with Remake. But you know, I like Remake though. I'm not a hater. I just don't like the plot ghosts. I think that's the fucking dumbest thing.
The plot ghosts are kind of ham-fisted because they're literally plot ghosts.
I'm worried about you. There are a lot of temptations in the city. I feel a lot better if you settle down with a nice girlfriend.
I'm all right, Mom. Oh,
you should have an older girlfriend, a mommy, one will take care of you. I think that'd be best for you.
No, I've seen them where
this is like more of like I think this is like from a K-pop thing, if I'm not mistaken.
That's brand new to me, huh? Yeah.
Gonna get in a fight with a house.
Dude, this is a fucking iconic screen. This
is
like,
it's so
such
good.
an iconic screen. Love
it's
it.
so good. So I want you to know, as a child, I got stuck here because I didn't know that board, that break. I did not. I was like,
oh,
wait.
the goal!
Oh, guys, are you guys ready for
it.
this? When I played 7R initially, I played it in like 2 sessions, aggressively drunk. And I remember getting to the Hell House, and I brute forced it, and it literally took an hour. And all of my items, it was the purest, most American moment of my life, where I was like, wow. I don't need no damn tactics, you fucking Hell House son of a bitch.
Dude, you know what this... I didn't realize this. This sounds like fucking Man Next Door by Massive Attack.
Hell yeah.
Dude, hold on. I gotta link it. I never realized how similar the boy. So, Vinicore, did you play this game when it first, like, the year it came out?
Oh yeah, day one.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, day one. I remember. I remember very clearly. I was in the 8th grade, and I begged. I had pre-ordered it, years in advance, like everybody else, and it was like the top thing going on in my life at that point was FF7 coming out, as many nerd kids growing up in the 90s can relate to. Like, when FF7 came out, that was it. That was the greatest thing that had happened in a very long time for a lot of us. And it was just such a bonding point for me and a lot of my friends who we were all into gaming, but like everybody rallied around 7 when it first came out. It was like the title of the decade. Just such fond memories. I mean...
Alright, I had the Vinicore up.
My man with the limoncello.
Limoncello's good.
That's what's
solid.
It sort of tastes like a dessert version of a cleaning solution, but I do really enjoy that. That one's one of my favorites.
This and the key lime are my two favorites.
Key lime is good also.
Yeah, a CD.
A what?
A CD.
CD's nuts.
So there were 2 demos. There was the PlayStation Underground one.
That's where
that
I
you're
played
talking
it.
about, Vinicore.
That was
and
it.
And then there's the
It
one
had the
with
Saga
Tobal.
Frontier. It had the Saga Frontier trailer on it too.
Tobal.
Yeah.
The Tobal. Yep. Bushido Blade was on there too.
Bushido and
Yes.
Tactics as well.
And Tactics.
I think it was a video. I don't think it was a demo. It was like a video.
It was just video, correct. But the Tobal 1 disc was the big boy, because that had the first Avalanche Raid demo on it. And can we talk about that menu music from that disc? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation Underground had such amazing menu music. It was fucking, oh my god.
It was the Tobal 1 disc, though. The Tobal 1 disc that had the playable demo. The menu music on that disc was not a part of the final game, and I gotta tell you, it was like heavenly. Do yourself a favor. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna tweet about it.
No, please share that, because that sounds fucking awesome.
Oh my god. It was godly.
There was a lot of hype for Final Fantasy VII because it had a really long development cycle compared to a lot of the games at the time, didn't it, Joe?
A lot of budget too for marketing.
For games at the time, yeah, and also it started development like 2 months after 6 or a month after 6 shipped.
I'm busting right now.
It was like 3 years in development, which was huge back then.
About a year and a half of actual development. It went through. It went through a lot of changes, like between, like what script they were going to use for it, the direction that they wanted. I think I might have mentioned this before, but the very first concept of it was basically what got reworked into 8. And concepts for FF7 were proliferated among Square's projects for years. FF13, Xenogears, FF8, I think something in 10? Yeah, something in 10, because the original concept was supposed to be a son and his father.
Dear God.
It's so good.
So
all
good.
of Walmart. Just okay. Let's steer the conversation to just Walmart in Final Fantasy VII Remake. They did such an amazing job while still paying a good and honest tribute to how it is in this game, they really evolved it, like especially the Honeybee Inn segment. As much as I will lament the loss of some of the Honeybee Inn scenes for just the strange weirdness of it, they did an amazing job making something like insanely memorable with it.
Yeah, for real. Like, I don't know. Final Fantasy VII Remake was like one of the games that really made me comfortable with like my sexuality and stuff, and like that segment of the game was like a really big part of that. And so like experiencing that as someone who was very much like still, you know, I was like 19 or 20 when that game came out, and like kind of like very much still learning things about myself in that way, and like getting to have that experience and also having it resonate so much, not just with me, but with things I've experienced outside of the Honeybee Inn, was super impactful. And that's one of the things that I like about Remake so much is the way it took this place that's supposed to feel like this kind of seedy but free and everyone's happy kind of place, and it
put a very
into,
positive spin on it.
Yeah, and like I don't know, growing up as a kid, like I would go to dive bars with my parents because Wisconsin, and like it very much feels like the energy of places that I would have gone to growing up, and making that connection and kind of hitting that nostalgia note was super important for me.
That's rad. That's rad. Oh, yeah. I love it.
That's so
really
sick to hear.
Cool. Yeah, 100%. It really is cool to hear like that their new spin on it can do something that's so like impactful and important like that. You know, that really, like, any complaints aside, the fact that they did something like that and is super fucking commendable on its own.
And yeah, and that's like why I think that like Remake is so impressive, is because it takes something that's like it has the seed of an idea and then nurtures it and helps it grow into a more fully formed, flourished, less rough around the edges kind of thing. And obviously, like, polished and less rough around the edges can have a negative connotation, and I could not mean the opposite more than with Wall Market in Remake. I think Remake's Wall Market is the heart and soul of that game. It is where they pack in the most character, the most heart, the most different things, and a lot of character development. I mean, you look at Cloud in Remake, who is this kind of like, you know, he's a very stereotypical like emo dude or whatever, just like everything fucking sucks. I want to, all my friends are dead. My best friend tried to kill me. You know, all that shit. And they take it and they turn him into something that reflects not only back on the audience but the other characters in a really cool and interesting way.
I think I would agree with that, but also Chapter 4, the remake, is one of the coolest fucking things in Final Fantasy.
Which
There's nothing really. That's the one where they like go above ground to the Jesse's house.
Jesse's house.
I love that part.
That's so
love
good,
that part,
man. And then
it's such a
subliminal and moody.
It shows you the difference between like slum living and plate living, which you really never see. The only thing you see above the plate in the original game are the reactors and that initial area. That's pretty much it. But like Remake gave you this whole other area to really help you kind of sympathize and see like the class divide and how clear it was between people living in the slums, you know, the people on the bottom and the people on the top. I love it, and I like the fucking the new soldier guy they added in Remake. So the fact that was
I do too. I liked him. I really did.
It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, he didn't need to be there, but I still like him. For me, he was interesting.
He was so campy, and he was just over the top, a little much.
He's a dork. He's a dork. Guy was a fucking dork.
Exactly, but in a fun, like, lovable way. Like, all right, come on. This guy's a freaking goofball. You know. This is Don Corneo's mansion. He's a big shot here in Wall Market. Listen, he doesn't like men, so get the hell out of here.
Hey, you're pretty fast. Tifa's our newest girl. But unfortunately, she's having an interview right now. Here at the Honeybee Inn, it's customary for all the new girls to be taken to Don Corneo's mansion. Don Corneo, the famous dilettante. He here wants to settle down in the market for a bride.
I love how we're slowly getting to voices that are all parts of a mouth. Like Venecor got the palate, and then that was all gums.
What the fuck? You fuck ain't no fucking show! I'm fucking busy here! I'm feeling like there's gonna be a fight! A fight?
Forspoken also looks fun. I think the problems with Forspoken are not.
I think
problems with what Forspoken looks
fun.
like are not combat.
I
feel like that combat is.
I can already see shitty TikToks set to like funk music of rapid every 2-second cut images of its combat with like fucking 7 million likes, and people are like, this looks so cool, and no one will remember the cringy ass commercial they did for it where they were like, huh, guess I'm fighting dragons now, huh?
I'll also say that commercial seemed like it was cut from different like moments in the game. I don't think that all those things are all one moment.
Phew, I'm so relieved.
There we go.
Bobby, heard you collapse. No. Don't get so uptight. They say youth is long, and yet so short. Let's give this next one our best shot.
I love how this one's all nasal. Venecor, you were a Disney actor?
Yes, oh my god, this is what I meant to ask earlier, thank you.
I was a theater major in college, and I ended up getting a full-time union contract at Disney, and yeah, that was my life for a long time.
Damn.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoy entertainment very much.
Hell yeah.
But I don't think the entertainment business is quite for me. It's got to just remain a love and a hobby.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, like where Disney's concerned, I probably had one of the best roles on property. I was full time at the Star Wars Jedi Training Academy as the Jedi Master, which was just like, I mean, the best. And as a part-time, I did Captain Jack Sparrow in Adventureland back when there was a show.
Wow.
So here you go, and I have undeniable proof of all this. You're gonna love this.
Got a Captain Jack Sparrow hat?
I love the concept of him making it up.
This is even better. This is even better. I'm an action figure.
Oh, it's fucking sick, dude.
Okay, I'll take it out, but if you look on the back, the Jedi Master character.
Damn.
Nice.
That is me. Like, I barely know you guys, but like I'm getting to know so many cool things about you already just from hanging out, and it's like, you know, that I mean, don't let me gush or anything, but I mean, that's how friendships are formed. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And it's so hard sometimes in this day and age, especially as like, you know, being a little older and not seeing people at school and work every day that you used to hang out with. It's sometimes hard to make new friends. It's really hard.
I went from being like this most social motherfucker I know to then like the pandemic happened, and now I'm like, but how do I make friends?
That's
like, what do I do?
You know, man, that's why I started streaming. No lie, no other reason at all. I just love gaming and I wanted to make friends.
Yep.
And I gotta tell you, it's been awesome. It's been so cool.
I've met so many cool people through streaming. I love that I have, especially with the way we do our show. We're like, we do other stuff occasionally, but the main thing, once a week, every Thursday, it's something on our calendar, and it's something that, like, I truly look forward to. I look forward to hanging out with, like, you know, fucking John and Joey, all of our guests. I love meeting new people through the guests. I love bringing our old favorites on as guests. Like, it's such an awesome thing that we've built, and it's such a, this is like one of the most social shit I do every week is Super RPG friends and hanging out with Germans in virtual reality.
I see no problem here.
That was wholesome as fuck. That was wholesome as fuck. I love that, Venecor. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trains are an evolution of wheeled wagons running on stone
Deep
wagon
lore?
ways. The earliest of which were built by Babylon circa 2200.
I just have a lot of like little stories. Like I've seen a dude die. I've seen at least one dude die in a McDonald's.
Wait,
me and a good friend of mine, Nick, we would like just go out whenever we could, escape the loop, which is like the neighborhood that we lived in Chicago. Joey knows what I'm talking about. But like, for some reason, Disaster would just like follow us for a while, and it still does. It's really funny when he and I go out. It's like some crazy shit always happens. But I remember the first time, one of the first times this happened. It was Halloween 2019, maybe, and we were at a party at his girlfriend's apartment, and we left because we were both hungry. And for some reason, every single 24-hour restaurant in downtown Chicago was closed. Halloween, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, that's how it does. Yeah, that makes sense. And Joe, you might know where I'm talking about, but there's a McDonald's right across the street from the Rainforest Cafe that's like West Loop-ish / downtown. And so imagine it's like 50-ish degrees out, so not warm but not cold, right? And you're wandering around Chicago. You're looking for a place to eat late at night, and everywhere is closed. Every single McDonald's, every single Subway, every single 24-hour place just fucking shuttered. And you come up on this McDonald's, and it has these vaulted ceilings, and it's very like postmodern. It has glass walls. Yeah, I know that. It's very like angelic lighting. It's some shit out of like a stoner movie for sure. And everything is white and pristine and just like perfect, right? And he and I are like, holy shit, we finally found a place we can eat, because the lights are still on, right? And so we get in there, and they're only serving like an eighth of the menu, and it's all like, it's like fucking like the scraps from the day before, right? And so we're in there, we're trying to figure out what to do. We walk in maybe like 2 minutes later, a guy across the restaurant, again, vaulted ceilings, looks like a postmodern church. I'm not fucking kidding. Everything is white, fake marble, very pristine. And a guy across the restaurant just falls out of his table. And I want to say at least 5 or 6 like emergency response people are here at this point, or 5 or 6 emergency response vehicles are here at this point.
Wow.
And we're just like, yo, it's time to leave. And we were, as we were leaving, more people are pulling up, and these guys are like trying to like wake this guy up, and he's just not getting up. And presumably because he's eating at a McDonald's.
T-race all over again. You got it.
So Joey, I gotta ask, what's a left-handed sig?
Oh, that was 6. A left-handed sig. I feel like it's just something that you smoke that you're not comfortable with.
Oh, because 6 says it's one with weed.
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard that before.
A little spliff.
Oh, a spliff. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I didn't know that. I've never heard that term before.
Yeah, no. I actually didn't know that a spliff had tobacco in it until I tried one recently.
And then you're like, there's...
Win!
Oh, wait, I thought it was 20. Oh, wow. Wow, you got... Bro, you got so lucky, Frank. Frank,
this
got
man
so
is
lucky.
SQUATS. Too cool. Oh, this was a lot of fun.
It was.
Dude, thank you so much. We're glad. We're super glad to hear that. It really is. This show is something. When me and Nick kind of came up with this show initially, and I came at it with a thing of like, I don't like watching streams. What could I do to make a stream that I would like to watch? And like rotating guests, a lot of input from all over, special stories, all that kind of stuff. And I think I've actually succeeded in making something that stands out and is something that every week you're going to get something a little bit different. And I love that we always beat games. There's nothing more than I hate than when I watch like some kind of content creator have a good time with a game and not beat it. I'm like, come on, let's go the whole fucking way. If you're enjoying it, please. But so many people just play like the first 30% of an RPG and move on to something else. And I'm happy that we can be, hey, Lord Drewby, thank you for the follow.
Lord Drewby, thanks, man.
My man, Lord Drewby. I'm happy that we can be one of the people that if you see us start a game on the main show, we will finish it. And for my RuneScape people, we've just got back to quests, so don't worry, there's RuneScape quest streams coming.
Nice.
Yuck! Gross!
Joey,
Nasty!
Stop it. Joey, you come and you suggest music we listen to, and you'll be fucking happy.
I'll come in there, like, request a bunch of shitty slamcore.
And leave. And just be like, I'm done.
Hey,
Listen,
Frank, I have a question for you real fast.
Shoot, let's do it.
Whose idea was it to do Lunar?
I think I pushed that really hard.
Yeah?
Because I'm
I'd say one of I mean, like, with Sega, there's only so many things that we can do. Yeah. I loved the Sega season. I did. It was a season where I feel like we really sharpened our edge. Not like our 420 Sasuke edge, but like we really figured out how to run the show, tune things, and work together as a group. They might have not been, the most popular games or anything like that, but I love the Sega season for being a season where we could really figure out what the show was about, where our strengths are, where our weaknesses are, and how to address that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Unreal. I love it. And Vyser, I'm reading the chat. You are my people, because as soon as I saw the Sega Genesis Mini 2 had Shining Force 2 and Shining Force CD on it, I was sold. But I asked about Lunar because I wanted to show you something real fast.
What do we got?
Charlie, what about you, man? You hit us with the plugs.
Yeah,
man. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and I think that's it, at CHAS_MKE. That's Chaz Milwaukee. You can also find me at Paste Magazine, writing all sorts of reviews. I have a review of Lego Brick Tales coming up soon. I am working on my Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope review right now. I have a review of the new Culver's Curder Burger coming that just came out there.
Oh my god, is it good? I need to get it.
Good.
It's really fucking fucking good. There's one.
Culver's curds usually suck, but the Curder Burger.
I have an issue.
I got one near my son's daycare. I'm in.
I have a Curder Burger and a Hardee's next to each other, and you know what Hardee's just got? Hardee's just got their one-piece red cups.
Charlie, what is your Twitch? I saw the follow on Twitter. I followed you back. What is your Twitch?
Same as my @ everywhere. CHAS_MKE.
Anyway,
I am our Super RPG Enemy's first follower.
I really appreciated you guys on here. This is a lot of fun. This is all these FF7 episodes are gonna be a blast, and I'm fucking so stoked for.
I'm so excited for this season. I love Super Nintendo RPGs, but like that was also when we were figuring out how to do this. Period. So like the focus really wasn't as much on the game as it was the format. And PlayStation 1 is something that we're coming into where we understand how to work our format, we understand what we are, and we're in one of the most amazing generations of RPGs the genre has ever seen. And it's just, I can't wait. I can't fucking wait for what this season comes. And like, who knows, I know we've always done 3 games per season. Baby, I'm Frank Wood. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
This Sunday, you can join us, our Cerulean Skies Discord right here. It's like a little multi-genre-esque community. Mostly kind of an RPG focus as of late. Like we did Castlevania about an hour before this stream. We did Aria of Sorrow before this stream. And this Sunday, we're actually going to be doing a whole day of spooky stuff.
Venicor, you may not know it, but our first game was Earthbound. So we close every single one of our shows a little bit of an Earthbound way with the Fuzzy Pickles.
Fuzzy Pickles, yes!
Fuzzy Pickles.
3,
Hopefully you were going to say that.
2, 1.
Fuzzy Pickles, everybody. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much!